All right, welcome to the Portland Riverhogs season 3 season preview. I'm just going to go over the roster a little bit, take a look at the schedule, and talk a little bit about last season and some of the acquisitions and draft picks from during the season. So let's start with the draft picks from last season. Actually, we'll start with the acquisitions. We acquired Philip Dorsett from the Arizona Cardinals for a two in last year's draft and a three in the next draft, I believe. Dorsett is going to be in the slot, and he adds a nice element of speed, and we're going to upgrade his route running, his catching a little bit, and he'll bring something to the receiving core and to the return game that we haven't had, which is breakaway speed. We have, the good receivers in Evans and Demarius Thomas, who are game breakers, game changers, all pros. And now you add Dorsett into the mix, and it's a lot to deal with for any defense. Jaron Brown is probably going to be wide receiver 5. We picked him up in free agency on a nice 1-year deal. All our free agents this year were 1-year deals because we have Jameis to re-sign this season, so we didn't want to tie up too much money. Jerron is solid. In case the injury goes down, he'll see an increased role. He'll be wide receiver 5. And at wide receiver 4, we have Cameron Frey, who's the second-year guy now. 92 speed, 95 jump. Uh, he's not well polished, but he's getting there. And once DT starts to regress, I feel comfortable putting him into the number 2 spot. Uh, he has the size, 6'2", 208, out of Michigan. Nice agility. Uh, a top receiver in the league. Can't beat that. QB, of course, is Winston. He's continuing to develop. He's got all his accuracies into the 90s now with 95 throw power, 80 throw on the run. He wants about 5 years, 110 million. Hopefully we can talk him down a little bit, but if we need to pay it, we'll pay it. At running back, we have a stable of backs with no clear starter yet. We have C.J. Anderson, who we got from the Broncos 2 years ago. He's a solid back, quick dev. We're not really too enthralled with him. Only 80 stiff arm, but he has the 88 trucking, 86 juke. He's solid. Jamal Charles, we picked up on a 1-year, about $3 million deal, maybe $4 million. He'll be a nice, he can do some things that Charles can't do and that Hill don't do. He's a lot more elusive. He can catch for us out of the backfield, things like that. He'll be good. He'll be good. He's the number 8 ranked halfback in the league, which I didn't realize. But he'll see a lot of playing time. Jeremy Hill, who started last year, will see a lot of playing time. Another quick dev running back. Not as fast, but a tough runner, tough to bring down. He'll give you some catching. He'll make some plays. But again, no clear starter, no clear starter in this group. And then Pritchett was the draft pick. We traded a second in the upcoming draft to come back into the second at pick number 57. He's projected for 6th round, but he actually wound up being the number 50 overall prospect in true talent. A nice trucking back with 90 speed, 89 truck, 89 stiff arm. Acceleration is a little low at 83, but if we can upgrade his ball care vision and upgrade his carrying a little bit, he'll be a good short yardage back that we can use situationally. And, we'll keep him around for a while and see what he develops into. Tight end, Safarian Jenkins is still the number 1 tight end. We don't use a lot of tight end sets, but when we do, it's usually, Jenkins will see a lot of time as the number 1 tight end, but very rarely we do a single back formation, and a few shotgun formations that employ two tight ends. So he brought in Luke Wilson on another 1-year deal. 87 speed. He's a speedster. 79 catch, not that great, but he could still, create some mismatches with 91 acceleration, and he's a decent enough run blocker. I mean, it's not like we run heavy anyway. You wish his route running was a little higher, but again, on a 1-year deal with that speed, you can't, complain too much. Largent is tight end number 3 / fullback 1. We hope he can create some mismatches out of the backfield too. He was picked up on a 1-year deal in free agency. And for the offensive line, actually, we're going to put Parker in the starting spot. Parker was a rookie last season. He did well enough. He didn't seem like a big liability. He gave up 2 sacks all season. So, I mean, you can't complain too much. Again, Parker, not that strong at all with 79 strength, but, 80, 81, 80 for all the blocking stats. Good, he'll be all right until we find something better. Quinn LeBounty was the draft pick, I think, in the 2nd round. Let's see when he went. But went in the 2nd round pick, number 15. We needed to address offensive line somewhat, and he's okay. Not exactly what we wanted. There were a lot of superstar dev linemen that we missed out on, but with 85 run block, 91 strength, 77 acceleration, and 81 impact block, he'll be a good, he's a good pulling guard right now, 6'4", 319. He can move pretty well, so we'll continue to upgrade his pass block, and he'll be set there for a long time. That's his spot. Pamphile, Silatu, and Schwartz are all 1-year deals, I believe, and they're all just plug and play offensive linemen. None too interesting or even worth talking about, really. So yeah, moving on to the defense. Shane Ray took over for, who was it? He took over for Sheldon Richardson at left end, and he brought a little more speed to the position last season. 83 speed, 85 finesse, 86 acceleration, and he finished last season with about 16.5 sacks. 16, good enough for to tie for best in the league. And he was an All-Pro as well. I don't remember if it was first team or second team. Darius and Richardson on the inside. Again, 2 big, talented defensive tackles that that helped us have one of the better run defenses in the league last season. And then we have John Lyon, who we took in the, I think, 5th, 6th round. Let's see, 7th round actually. He's actually going to start for us. He was an outside linebacker, and we decided to move him down to defensive end. He has the 88 speed, 83 acceleration, 78 finesse, 75 block shed. Not that strong at 74. He's a pure speed rusher. But we think with some time, some development, he has the high motor already. A big hitter. He's going to be dangerous for us coming out of the right end spot. Because I mean, in preseason he had 5 sacks in the 3 games I played. Or 2, in the 3 games I played, he had like 5 sacks, or maybe more. I think he had a couple sacks in every game, actually. So hopefully, we'll upgrade his pursuit as well. We're going to try to pump him with some XP. With the weekly training, we're focusing on defensive linemen and defensive backs this season, mostly. So he's going to have a lot of opportunity to improve. Jaquez Smith is his backup. He's capable. 84 speed, 78 finesse, 85 acceleration. Another speed rusher. Again, you'd like to see his block shed higher, but he's a capable backup. I think has a couple more years on his deal. We brought in Trevardo Williams on a 1 year deal in free agency. Again, it's all about speed on the outside for us. 85 speed, 85 finesse. If Lyon doesn't really work out, we'll probably go Trevardo to replace him and see how that works out. And Daquan Jones, the blackest name in the league. We got him in free agency. Small bidding war with Denver, but he wound up coming to Portland. Very solid defensive tackle. 85 strength, 87 tackle, 89 block shed. He can get off the blocks and cause some havoc. Not very fast though, 59 speed. Uh, but we like him in a pinch. If one of our main guys go down, knock on wood, we feel comfortable putting him in. The backup left end is Renardo Wallace. He was our top pick in the draft this year, and we're not calling him a bust, but we didn't really get the value that we thought we would get with him. 86 speed, 80 finesse, 68 block shed. Again, he was an outside linebacker that he was a rushing outside linebacker that we moved down to defensive end because we play a 4-3. And maybe if he sees some time, he can make some plays, much in the way of Lyon. We just like Lyon a little bit better right now. But Wallace, is a solid depth guy in case somebody goes down. We think he can fill in for us and make some plays. Going to linebacker, Brandon Marshall again. He had a great season last season. Garnered a few All-Pro votes. 93 tackles, 11 tackles for loss, 1.5 sacks, 5 deflections. Like to see his interception numbers go up. 2 forced fumbles and a defensive touchdown. Preseason he had a interception on the goal line. He returned for a touchdown, like 100 yards, 99 yards. That's an encouraging sign. Cam Chancellor, who we got, he was kind of, I don't know if he was the big fish per se. Maybe Bradley Roby was. But there was definitely a lot of interest from multiple teams. We brought him here on a 1 year deal for about $9 million, and took him down from strong safety, moved him to be our middle linebacker. He's definitely lost a step with 83 speed. We didn't feel comfortable playing him at strong safety, and the plan, in acquiring him was always to move him into the middle linebacker position. 83 speed, but what we really like is his 87 play recognition, 89 pursuit. His 97 hit power. You don't see that too much, coming across the middle. And if he can, cause us some fumbles, he has the high motor, the strip ball, the big hitter. If he can, make some plays for us, which we think he can do, then we're happy with the 1 year deal, and we'll do a year-to-year thing and see how it goes if we can do that. Also has a 78 catching and 79 zone, 68 man. So he still has the ball skills, But again, he has lost a step with the 83 speed, 80 agility. A little bit of a step down as far as athleticism from what we've had in the position. Who we to Indianapolis along with Adam Humphries and I believe a 4th-round pick for 2 seconds and a 3rd in last season's draft. We loved Quan. He is a good middle linebacker. I had him all this file and most of last file, but the first 2 seasons he missed maybe 15 to 16 weeks, a whole season due to injury, and we just had to, we had to let him go at a certain point. We upped his injury and it's still getting hurt. It just wasn't meant to be. Tyrone Staten started a good chunk of last year for us. He was a rookie. Let's see his stats for the season. 46 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 1.5 sacks, 3 deflections. So not too bad. Staten is a rangy linebacker with his 87 speed, 84 pursuit, 82 tackle. What's his hit power? Hit power. 76 hit power. Like I said, he's a rangy linebacker. He can cover a little bit, not too much. but we like him in that spot. It's going to be between him and Elandon Roberts, who was originally a strong safety signed off of the Houston Texans practice squad. He made some plays for us last season. He has 84 speed, 89 hit power, 87 pursuit, 82 strength. So this was all coming again from a strong safety apparently, and we moved him right away down to outside linebacker. And when we had some injuries, he filled in nicely. So we're gonna roll with a combination of him and State and see, who wants the job, who's gonna hold on to the job. His stats last season: 38 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 2 deflections, 2 forced fumbles. That's the 87 hit power, whatever he had. So he started 2 seasons for us, actually, or he played 2 seasons for us. A little bit better than the first season, so can't complain about that. Again, you want to see those interception numbers come up. We struggled creating turnovers last season as a defensive unit. We were bottom of the league in turnovers, which we need to change. At the safety spot, we have Andrew Shivers, who was a 7th round pick in the first draft and came in about 7 and is now starting for us. He was a kick returner. He got a couple boosts. He made the Pro Bowl as a kick returner. And now he's a superstar dev free safety at 22 years old. I mean, you can't beat that, for a 7th round pick. That's great value. I mean, he went from normal to superstar. He's got 90 speed, 80 zone, 77 tackle, which we're going to increase. We're going to increase his play rec from 75, of course. And we're going to see, what plays he can make this season. He'll be the full-time starter. We had Marcus Gilchrist there, who we acquired from the Jets in year 1. We let him go because he was making like $6 million a year. We let him go no cap hit. To back up Shivers, we have Don Jones, young safety, 71 zone, 74 man, 82 hit power, 90 speed. He'll be all right. The other safety spot, we have Jalen Watkins, who we acquired in free agency between year 1 and year 2. He performed all right. We were happy with what he gave us. 82 tackles and a pick. Deflection, forced fumble. Again, we need to see an increase in picks across the board, an increase in interceptions. Let's see, cornerback Hargreaves, a nice young corner. 86 man, 86 zone, 86 press, 84 agility, 80 catching. He's gonna hold down his side. Across from him, we have Moten. Quick dev, just like Hargreaves, 82 man, 83 zone, 87 press. So, both our corners can, get physical with you, even though Moten's only 5'11", 190. His speed is not the best, but, against some of the bigger receivers, with his 87 press, we think he can hold his own. We're going to continue to improve that, improve his catching. And he has the 91 jump. So we're he's a top 10% cornerback, aggressive play ball tendency. Behind him, we drafted Quintarius Crockett out of Pitt. We like his initial stuff. He is slow dev, so we might save up. I don't know. He's 22 already, and see if we can upgrade his development. But for just being what he is right now, we're happy with it. 89 speed, 96 excel. You see the coverage stats: 81, 76, 78. So he'll be fine in the slot for us right now. And then we picked up Geddes. I forget his first. Cornelius Geddes. He was a undrafted free agent. We picked him up, and for an undrafted free agent, he'll be our number 4 cornerback with 81 man, 78 zone, 89 speed. So a little slower, but solid coverage skills, and we like what at that position and that value, we think we can plug him in and get some production. Cornerback number 5, Brandon Dixon. He played for us last year. Not too much to really say about him. He was all right. We feel comfortable with him. That's the defense. For special teams, Aguayo and Enger, solid players. And at returns, we're gonna have. Why isn't it going? Come on. Okay, at returns, we're gonna have Crockett and Dorsett. Uh, Dorsett, he can house one anytime with his speed. Crockett, you get some with him being there at kick returner. And the third down back will be one of these three, probably. Um, and then our practice squad is all QB, wide receivers, corners, free safeties. Nobody too interesting on the practice squad. So let's take a look at some of our re-signing targets for the year. Let's see. We got Jameis, of course. He's going to want, looks like 5 years, 110. We'll see if we can talk him down. Sheldon Richardson, who he wound up having to franchise last season, wants 4 years at about 42 mil. He's 27. We're going to try to, of course, get a deal with him. Charles, if we can get him back on 1 year, we'll take him. We're not going to commit long term to him. Schwartz, maybe, yeah, probably not. We'll let him walk if we can re-sign him in free agency. Good. Watkins wants another 3 years. We'll probably, see if we can get him 2 or 3 years for about 7, 8 mil. That's not too bad. Wilson, we're not giving him 4 years. We're not giving him a 4-year, $18 million deal. Sorry. Chancellor, if you'll take a 1-year deal, you can stay. If not, maybe someone else can get some use out of him. I'll move him back to strong safety before I let him go. And Pamphile, no. Dorsett, we're definitely going to re-sign 3 years, 15 mil, basically, for, our number 3 wide receiver. We're happy with that. Deron Brown, we might probably let walk. Jones, I don't see us giving him that kind of money, especially with the strength we have at defensive tackle right now. I mean, he's the same age as Richardson, and I think even Darius, or he's a year younger. So it's not like he's even the defensive tackle of the future. He's a right now plug-in, depth guy. So I don't see us giving him that deal. So, keep a lookout for him in free agency. Silatu, not really worth re-signing. McCain, not really worth re-signing. Jones, we'll see how the year goes. Ekprealamu, perhaps, 1 year, 1 mil. A depth guy we'll keep. Williams, we're going to bring back most likely. We like his physicals. And we'll see how Largent plays out. These guys are just all depth guys that, if we can work out a cheap deal with them, there's nobody on the team right now that we don't really like for for what they can do. So if they can hang around, we'll probably bring them back. Let's take a look now at the upcoming schedule. So we start off with a couple CPU games, two CPU games in the Bengals, Swans Bengals, which I'm kind of dreading playing because you never know how those games can go with the former user teams. So we'll see how that goes. 2 games on the road against the Bengals and the Saints, who are now without Drew Brees. Then we have Sebi and the Steelers, who we just played in preseason. It was preseason, but pretty well. So hopefully we can do that again. If Ernie's back, I don't know if he'll be back by then. I think the word is he will be back, but we'll see. So that'll be our second user game, and then we have the Redskins right before the bye. That'll be a game to watch. Meat is a good player, and he might have a little bit of a vendetta against me because I shit on Josh Doxson whenever I can. So Doxson will have, a little chip on his shoulder in that game, so expect a lot of him. That'll be a Josh Doxson versus Mike Evans type of game. So if those with those 5 games, if we can come out 4-1, we'll be happy. Uh, I think all these games are winnable, but I'll settle for 4-1. 3-2, I'd honestly be a little disappointed. So 4-1 heading into the bye, 5-0 heading into the bye, we'll be happy. Then we come back with a nice little stretch of the Falcons. Those are all tough games. Of course, the Falcons are looking to rebound this season. Joe and his Cowboys are tougher and tougher every season. I haven't played Adam in the Eagles, but he seems like a good user. I'm kind of interested to see how that. So we think we can get 2 win. We want to get 2 wins out of these 3: Eagles, Cowboys, Falcons. We want to get 2 wins. Um, so then we go on the road for 3 games. Giants, new Vikings user who should be pretty comfortable by week 11. That'll be an interesting game to see what he can do with Nick's roster. And the Falcons again, so that'll be a tough one. We swept the Falcons last season, but we only played them once. But like I said, they're trying to bounce back. So they added some talent with like Deshaun Jackson, who we targeted before the offseason even began. When you know re-sign him, we really like Deshaun to come in and be our slot guy. He has dropped down a little bit with 89 speed, but once we acquired Dorsett, we couldn't really justify putting the money into Deshaun Jackson even to keep him away from a rival like Atlanta. So Deshaun's should have a good season opposite Julio Jones and Mohamed Sanu. We'll see how that works out. So Giants, Vikings, Falcons, and then back home for Saints, Panthers. Uh, Pretty interesting finish to the season. Saints, Panthers. Hopefully Ernie's back. Dan and the Ravens. We'll see how that game goes. Dan can be up and down. Then we finish with the Browns and the Rams, which will be a tough game for Week 17. With the Rams are always tough. We're undefeated versus Cody and the Rams all time. For this file, at least we beat them in the playoff in a tough snow game. But Week 17, with the way the NFC West is shaping up, and who knows how the South is going to be this year. I don't expect it to be kind of the runaway that it was last season. This is going to be an interesting game in Week 17 that's going to affect the playoff seeding. This could be, for a first round bye maybe, or this could be for home field possibly, or maybe it'll be for a playoff spot. Who knows? So I think a 13-3, 14-2 season isn't out of the works. I really feel like with the talent I have and some of the teams I face, I really feel like 12-4 is my floor, and maybe 14-2 is my ceiling. But I feel like every game on the schedule is winnable. There's no game I should not. There's no game where I should like not feel comfortable. If I can come into these games and dictate, win every with my offense, and continue to improve my defense. Last I had one of the tougher defenses. I think like the 11th defense in yards or something like that. Top 5 in rush yards, but kind of bottom in the league in pass defense. So if I can tighten up my pass defense, force a few more turnovers, continue to increase my sack numbers, then that'll be a recipe for success for Portland this season. Let's see. Anything else I want to talk about? I don't think so. Let's see. Let's go through the roster one more time. Only a couple players over 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and only 2 really, or 1 really long-term legit starter over 30 right now. So we have a young team. We're set up, for the next few years to continue to, add pieces in the draft. add a free agent here and there, and just keep this thing moving in Portland. Um, so hopefully we have a fun season. Um, I'm interested to see, how things go, as I'm sure you are for your team. And if you sat through and watched all this, I appreciate it. And hopefully, the next time I do one of these, it'll be talking about my Super Bowl victory. So, have a good night.